Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I'm
That's
excited to use it for D&D. Then I don't actually have to have any range. I can just do the same thing and be like, well, and here's this.
any idea when we're doing that?
I'm going to get through school and then I'm going to start.
Okay, 'cause, like I have time to
Oh, you mean the solo one that
either
we were
or.
gonna do, like the one shot?
I figured you'd invite me to your actual one. Were you
Yeah,
not gonna?
I'm no, I am. I'm going. Yes. So my plan is to essentially do. I don't want a huge party of like 8 people, so
No, it's too much.
I'm going to have two groups that are taking place in opposite ends of the world.
While yes, you made things easy, you still made it hard because then you have a concurrent.
It'd be fine.
Ah, I see what you're doing. I like it.
I don't want to exclude anybody because we don't have many DMs anymore, so
We have
we're
one,
limited. We have two,
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have two. So I don't want to exclude anybody. I don't want everybody to be able to play. That just means we won't be able to play as frequently because I can't run that weekly or bi-weekly. That's gonna be like, hey, every 2 weeks. Basically, each group's gonna get to play once a month.
This
Is how
group
that's
gets to
gonna
spend the
probably
weekend
shake
with
out.
mommy. This group gets daddy. I
Yeah,
understand. Okay.
that's right.
All right. I fuck
All
with that.
right,
All right.
it'd be alright.
We should probably start
Yeah, we should.
this. Welcome back to the episode. Welcome back to WASD and Beyond. I tried going in too fast.
Yeah,
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
it's never a good idea.
Now, WASD and Beyond. I'm your host, Nick. This is your host, Brody. We're back. Episode 201. A bit of a return to form for us, being as last week's episode on Twitch, I will say. Y'all killed
Did
it.
quite well. Yeah,
Y'all
we
killed it.
appreciate it. I
Uh,
didn't eat the chip though. I know. I'm sorry.
it's better, dude. That's terrible for. I don't give a fuck. It's bad. It is so fucking bad. It is so bad.
It
Um,
is.
but yeah, no, thank you everyone who popped off, man. Chat was going crazy the entire time. I mean, subs were going crazy. The spawn camp community members were just gifting subs left and right. Um, it was a great time. Some new followers, some new faces. We were chit chatting with everybody, and we really, really appreciate that. So thank you for making episode 200 for us as special as we could ever imagined. Yeah, dude, and thanks to our sponsors, Final Boss and Doc Longy, for sponsoring the show. Brody's wearing the Fallout shirt. I am wearing the Doom. Let's see if I can Doom shorts. I tried, but I'm wearing a Bolt Thrower t-shirt because I was lazy. I could not be fucked to get my shirt changed.
That's fair. That happens.
Doc, they both got drops right now. Final Boss has the Duke Nukem drop that is live on the website. Go get that. Doc Longy has the Quasimodo drop right now, so go get that. I know I said I don't know where Doc's at, and now I know where Doc's at. He's making ACAB t-shirts with Quasimodo on it. That's fucking hard as shit. Go get those shirts from Final Boss and Doc Longy. Oh, I think one order of the Duke Nukem Final Boss drop will get a Duke Nukem mini. There will be one mini. There will be one miniature Duke Nukem figure for you to paint
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. So get ready for that. That's a cool little thing that the boss was talking to me about. I was like, yeah, that's fucking dope. That's super cool. And then he posted online, and I was like, yeah, that's fucking what's up. So yeah, check them out, and while you're at it, come join the Spawn Camp community. Good time hanging out with our friends. D&D, Magic the Gathering, Warhammer, video games, movies, television. It's all there. Hop in. It's free, no paywalls here. As Noah mock me on the show, as I say, you to our graphic designer Noah, and thank you to our editor Connor, who's now editing videos
Yeah.
here and there for us. Thank. Got a Buckshot Roulette one coming out Saturday.
Very good.
More
Double
videos.
upload Saturday, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Episode 200. There are
It
some
might be a
edit.
triple upload on Saturday, actually.
Episode 200 has a couple things I have to remove from the episode. There was a couple things said live that I'm not going to have put back out there. Oh, I hit my microphone. So I'm going to edit episode 200 a little bit more. and add some nice little funny Baba Booies in certain places. Not that it was bad,
No.
really, but I'm just gonna take it out there because I don't need a witch hunt happening over Logan. You know what? While you're at to go check Zealous out, he's Logan. He's doing crazy things with minis and Gundam, and that's basically his job now. He said he was going to get fired on episode 200, and guess what? He did. So everyone clap for Logan. He got fired the day after episode 200, and now his full time gig is Warhammer.
Which is crazy.
The dude hit him up, was like, "Yeah, oh cool, this, and that." Logan's like, "I got laid off." And the guy's like, "That's fine. I'm basically putting you on salary." And I went,
Okay.
You're the one dude I know, Logan, who just trip and fall into shit.
Yeah.
The
It's
coolest
kind of
things.
impressive.
Good for him.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Build MK. Wake me up when the nightmare ends. Okay, lots to talk about. Lots to talk about. Do you want to start it off with some of the news? I mean, that's
Yeah.
what this episode is. We're basically going to talk about some of the news, maybe about some of the things we've been. However you want to start, let's go.
Okay.
I'm abrasive.
Well, we should talk a little bit about what we've been playing because we haven't done that for a little
That is true.
while. Boy, I think the last time, shoot, it was before our top 5 games of last
2024.
year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, shoot, I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. I've been playing a lot of Half Sword, the playtest
It's
that's
fun.
out. It's just dumb fun. Really looking forward to that game when it comes out. But man, yeah, it's just for those of you that don't know, it is like a kind of goofy physics uh sword combat game, like old school medieval, and you swing with the mouse, and
It's
it's not incredibly
hard.
precise. It is pretty hard. I've seen some people that are really impressive with it. I am not that, but I do have a lot of fun with it. You can like fully dismember people, and it's just one of those like kind of fun stream games, which maybe I should stream it some night. We'll see.
Yes.
And then I finished up Metaphor right before we did our Game of the Year episode. So that was my big RPG, and really, I've been just kind of playing odds and end things here and there since then because I don't want to start anything huge, especially with Monster Hunter right around the corner. There's a open beta for Monster Hunter that started today, and then there's another one that's going to be next weekend. They both run for like 3 or 4 days. So I'm going to be definitely jumping into that to some extent. I probably won't play it extensively because I am waiting for the game to come out, and that will consume a huge portion of my time. Um, I God, we jumped into Castle Crashers a little bit for like a half hour.
Who did?
It was me, Steve, Evan, and Matt, actually.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was fun. I haven't played that game in a long time. But yeah, it just kind of all over the place. A little bit of Prince of Persia on my Steam Deck. Not a
Yeah.
ton there either. Just kind of, I don't know. It's been a weird few weeks. A lot of my free time has been spent doing school stuff. So I am just kind of hanging in there.
By a
So.
thread, buddy.
Oh boy, and that thread just gets thinner and thinner every day. What
Very
what have
good.
you been playing?
Yes. So I've been playing more Indiana Jones on and off. Um, lot
Still
of
liking it?
love it,
Yeah,
love it. I just don't want it to end,
good.
so I'm kind of bouncing around. It's really good. Plus, there's a lot of exploration, a lot of collectibles, a lot of little side missions, a lot of things really for you to get lost to do. And I just don't want it to stop. Like I really
Yeah,
love where they went with the game. Um, I beat Wolfenstein: The New Order again.
you're on a big machine games kick.
Yeah, well, I'm playing Shadow of the Colossus, the new Colossus, Shadow of the. I've played that. I've beaten it. I'm playing the new Colossus right now, and I just forgot like the significant jump from the New Order to the new Colossus in
Mm.
technology and storytelling and how big Colossus really, really is. It's huge. fucking
Oh yeah.
huge. Um, and like the comedy elements are there, and it's fantastic fucking game. Yeah, I'm getting ready for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But I want to beat some games before I download and play that. That game is a time sink. There's so much in the Kingdom Come Deliverance games, while to really dive into, learn the mechanics, learn how things want you to play, but learn how you can kind of play them off yourself as well.
Which we should say that is the only game that was drafted in Fantasy Critic so far, and put Evan in the lead
For now,
for now. For
yes.
now, Evan is currently it got a 89, so he got 19 points from Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
I'm Evan.
Yeah. That's our fantasy critic update for the week.
Yeah, there you go.
I was trying. It was a perfect time to shoehorn it in, so might as well.
Hey, fuck it. Together we've been playing Marvel Rivals, all of us. Buckshot Roulette has been big in the
Oh yeah,
server.
I forgot about that. Yep.
Buckshot's been a blast. I really hope that they're able. He is able to add a bit more things to the multiplayer. I mean, it doesn't need to be huge. Just maybe some more
Right.
items, maybe some more crazy shit that could happen. But it's a blast. It's a blast making your friends mad. Um, Connor is very good at that. Cricket JQ, for wondering, is very good at that.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's what I'm playing. It's a mosh posh right now of everything, but it's such a good time. I'm going to be playing Spider-Man 2 soon. Kingdom Come Deliverance is on my is on my list. Um, I mean, we got Doom coming up. Civ 7, I guess, just sucks right now because of the UI. There's just a lot of shit coming out. It is
There is. And
God.
Monster Hunter in and of itself is just it can be as much of a time sink as you want it to be, especially if you want to get far in the game. It has to be.
Yeah.
That is a very, very grindy game, and I'm looking forward to it personally. I feel like there's going to be a handful of people in the server that'll play it, and they will probably only play it for a short period of time, though. So I got a feeling I'll be probably going at that one mostly alone. Maybe I think Steve is pretty big into it, and I bet Eric will hop back in and
Yeah.
play some with us. So. But yeah, I don't think that's going to be a game that's going to overtake the server by any means, but it will overtake me, and
That's
I
fine.
welcome it.
We need, yeah, whatever. Fucking enjoy it.
Yes.
Enjoy it. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. That's what Brody's been playing. That's, looking forward to a few things here and there, and really fucking stoked. So Brody,
Yes.
start off this,
Oh,
other than what
let's
we've been playing.
see. Yeah. Let's start with some. Let's start with a heavy hitter right off the get go. A
Sure.
kind of heavy hitter, I guess. Um, So it was announced that the ESA, or the Entertainment Software Association, is looking to start up a new conference in place of E3 starting in 2026 called Icon with two I's
Oh, I thought that was
2026.
a spelling error.
Nope.
That's
I
lame.
do believe that is the name for it. Yeah. So don't really understand the thought behind this. They've tried to essentially rebrand E3, or not rebrand, but retool E3 a couple different times now, and it's never worked. I don't know why they think this is going to work, but there are a handful of companies that are already involved. So it looks like Amazon Games, Disney, EA, Epic Games, Microsoft, Nintendo of America, Square Enix, Sony Interactive Entertainment,
Oh, all of them?
Take Two Interactive, Ubisoft, and Warner Bros. Um, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they got something here, right? It says so. This little blurb that I'm reading about it. I'm here. I'll actually go to the actual page, I suppose. So this is from playerdriven.io. And it is essentially saying the key topics and takeaways. So Icon will foster discussions on market expansion, technology, innovation, transmedia, storytelling, esports and sports tech, and education and healthcare, which I think is important, right?
Yeah.
So it does seem like this is going to be different. It's not going to be so much about consumers, but actually the industry itself, which I think is an important conversation to have. I mean, obviously, there's still a hole to some extent in the E3 space. I mean, of course, we have Summer Games Fest, and that's its own thing to some extent. Um, and I think this is probably the right move for the ESA if they want to have something of this nature, and I think it gives a platform to a bunch of different companies to essentially have more of a conversation or developers to uh, talk a little bit more. Granted, the amount of companies that are involved with this, I imagine it's still going to be fairly stilted, and there's going to only be so many things that can be said. I don't think it's going to go super deep into labor laws and shit like that, where it is going to be like, oh well, this company keeps laying people off. I don't think it's going to be impactful in that way because half the companies on here just had major layoffs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out and what it actually is. Right now, there's not a ton of information. There's a video on this page that I have not watched yet, unfortunately, but I will maybe try to watch it at some point. But yeah, we'll see what comes of this.
I hope it's what I hope they do is make this. You were bringing up like developers being able to talk more. That'd be cool if there was like cool things for them to do, like for these developers who are friends that work at different studios. You know, one weekend a year. This is for them, right? It's for everybody in the industry or and in the community, right? So I'm sure they would show off some new games, and if they made it less about the investors and more about the people behind the games and behind the companies themselves, I think this could be successful. If it becomes another, well, we're going to show off the biggest, baddest Vulcan games here to get more investor money, I think that's where we fall into another E3 pit trap.
Yeah.
But if this is something where everybody who's a part of the industry or, who was able to make the pilgrimage, I suppose, is able to go and work amongst each other, talk amongst each other, be like, hey, this is what we're doing for this project, or this is how we're beating layoffs or fatigue or crunch. Like, if there's things like that, that's phenomenal. This could be a great event and a great tool
Yes.
if that's what it remains to be.
I think a big part of this too is it does seem like they're going more back to what E3 originally was, where it was a lot more business oriented and obviously not consumer oriented like what E3 ended up being. We've talked about it before. I think we've talked about it on here, but I know I talked about it on Diggity. But um, Jeff had actually gone to E3 a handful of different times when he was working in the industry, and he said the biggest part about E3 that nobody realizes, there's a lot of meetings and closed door
Mm-hmm.
events that really they give a lot of developers opportunities, and there's a lot of deals that are done at E3 in some random conference room or some random hotel lobby
Yeah.
that we were missing out on because there wasn't an E3. And so E3 dying, while it sucked as a consumer and watching it and seeing it happen, it also sucked for a lot of these developers and didn't give them that opportunity to build relationships with other developers or recruit talent or whatever it may be, or even just marketing, right?
Yep.
So this definitely seems to be a trending back in the direction that E3 was when it started, and I think that's a wise move. I mean, at this point, I think it's going to be kind of hard to dethrone Jeff Keighley as he proceeds to take over all of
Every
these
facet
events.
of gaming.
And so I think this is an important conference that we might not even see anything from. This might
Yeah.
not even be something that involves us in any capacity or allows us to even stream it or do whatever. So we'll see what it evolves to. Obviously, this isn't happening until next year. It is taking place in Vegas as well. So
Uh-oh.
I just it's different. It's a new page for the ESA, and yeah, kind of neat. The more I read about it, the more I am a little bit more positive about it when I first saw it. Just the headline of it, I'm like, oh boy, here we fucking go again. But
Yeah.
the more I dove into it, seeing that there's actually some really good stuff there. So
Yeah, again, I think it's a cool tool. I think if they go back to the roots, what you're saying, I think that's a good idea. I think it's smart, but I really hope they focus on the people behind the video games. Like
yeah,
obviously, like got to make money,
yeah,
got to always figure out how to make more. I understand that, but without them, there is no money. So
right.
tit for tat. So no, it's cool. Even if we don't see anything of it, just to know it's there, and these developers and these QA testers and all them are going.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice little vacation in
Absolutely.
Sin City for the video game developers. So a bunch of people like us and or more awkward than us walking through the city. Very smart guys. Anyways, I did blow for the first time.
Yeah.
How was that? Oh, you know what I mean? Master Chief.
I did have the first time I went out to Vegas, we were walking to get coffee. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and we're walking, and some guy didn't even look at us, nothing. And as we were walking by, you just hear, "Hey, do you want to buy some cocaine?" As it like drifted off into and it just kept fucking walking. I'm like, "What the hell just happened?"
Would have bought it if you stopped, buddy.
Right? Like, goddamn,
Too
it's like
fast, bro.
chasing the ice cream truck when I was a kid.
Oh my god. I would have, but you kept going. Fucking idiots. All right. So, anyways, it seems that Valve and Gary Newman of Gary's Mod fame and now S&BOX are going to be giving people almost like a Source 2 SDK to work with here to make and distribute their own games via S&BOX, but also straight up just putting the games you make in S&BOX with the Source 2 SDK onto Steam. That's big.
It is.
And they're also going to allow these people making their games to monetize the games. That is also big.
That's the biggest part of it, I would say,
Yes.
because it on the surface, until you find out that they're actually allowing them to monetize it, it's very similar to uh, it's akin to like a Roblox or Fortnite Creative, right? Where they have all of these options, these tools to help people build games inside of it. Whereas this, they're actually allowing them to take what they make, export it, make a viable game, and then sell that bitch.
In Source 2.
That's that's awesome. Very, very, very good.
It is an engine that right now I believe Face Punch Studios, which is S&BOX, is one of the only other studios to have it. Valve and them.
Yeah.
So we don't know much about Source 2 except for if it's better than Source 1, holy fuck, right? Because when Source dropped, everyone saw Source and went, you can do that? It's Valve. So when they
Yeah.
do something, it's intentional. This is huge. This is cool. I remember my experiences with Gary's mod. Ed. Like, hey, you like Half Life 2, but now we got Gary's mod. I'm like, all right, sweet. And I'm like, oh, I could just build anything I want. You can make your own games. It's like, I didn't know
Hmm.
that. And that's some games have been made from Gary's mod. You know,
Oh yeah.
it's insane. So to see this, because S&BOX, so I was in the S&BOX beta. So I've played some people's games. I've played some of the game modes that are in S&BOX and like messed around in S&BOX. Cool. S&BOX is going to be huge. Um,
Yeah.
but be able to monetize stuff and be able to monetize your games, and I mean, they go if you go to Face Punch Studios and go to Gary Newman's uh blog, basically you can see exactly what he's doing. But Gary Newman confirmed that Valve has agreed to let people export game modes from S&BOX and just games themselves onto Steam. Huge. It's not as much news I want to talk about really, but I think that's big for the industry. I think it's a step in the right direction, especially with some things kind of leaning in against Valve here and there with the C2 skin gambling now. A bunch of debacles they constantly are having with that, and people are saying that Gaben basically said, "What the fuck you want me to do?" Which you want him to do.
Yeah.
So this is good. This is huge. This is great.
on top of even all of creators making their own games and things of that nature, they're also they have so like Steam Workshop, right? They are allowing creators to make clothing or
Yes.
other items to essentially upload, and then you make money every time somebody uses it, type of thing. So this is essentially like creating assets that are used in Unreal Engine, except for it's going to be used in Source 2. So I mean, they're doing all of the right things. They're allowing a platform for creators to go in and make games or items or whatever and make some money off of it. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure Valve and Gary are going to be making some money off of this as well.
Yeah.
But at that, it's a platform that is it's a great move, not only for Valve's business, because they're going to make money off of this and do well, but it's I mean, Steam notoriously has been one of the better places to put games at because they don't gouge creators as much.
30%.
Yeah.
I think it's thirty
And that's
percent.
only if you reach past a certain point. Like I think it's actually lower than that initially until you make a certain amount, and then
Right.
yeah. So I I have really high hopes for this. I'm excited to see what people make and what comes from this. I'm sure
Could be
there
sweet,
that
dude.
and
Or bad.
honestly, th- well, yeah. A lot of these games are probably gonna get some great marketing because they're gonna be on the front page of Steam because Steam's gonna want to promote this shit. So
Source too. Yeah.
yeah, it's a great place for creators to go into, learn the system, and create some cool shit and put it out there, and hopefully get some recognition, make some money, do what they love.
Now, Valve. This is my plea to you before I drop the Valve talk altogether and Brody sighs and Uggs and damn it. Just give me Half-Life 3. You know what I'm saying? You know? So just do that. That'd be cool. My nose, I'm not picking it for those who are watching. I have an itch and I think there's a hair because now I'm old, so I'm growing wild hairs out of my nose. This is the started this year. I'm like, what the fuck? It itches, and I want to rip my fucking face off. I'm gonna take a razor blade and cut this hair out.
They have trimmers specifically for like your nose and ears and things.
Go get
Okay.
the weed whacker from
Oh,
Manscaped.
jeez. There you go. Hey, they don't sponsor us.
Yeah, boo Manscaped. But
Boo.
please, I heard their ball trimmer. Anyways, um, yes, give me Half-Life 3. But anyways, yeah, cool. Course 2.
Yeah.
Gary's mod S&BOX, very good.
Very, very good. The last bit of big news, although there's not much to talk about here as it stands now, um, the Switch 2 was announced.
Yeah,
Like, uh, that's really about all there is right now.
it looks nice.
They showed off a trailer. In the trailer there was it was what 3 minutes or something like that, just a teaser. um it looked like a new Mario Kart. Thank God. Two
Yes.
generations of the same Mario Kart is enough. We please, I swear to God, if this is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe plus fucking whatever the fuck.
Oh, stop.
um
Nintendo's gonna go
yeah.
balls out in April.
Oh yeah. But we got some other news that came. So the Switch 2 was announced last week. But we were preparing for episode 200, so we did not get to cover any of that. And there was some other newsworthy things that came out Switch related. But in that teaser, they did say that there is going to be an in-depth direct starting on April 2nd at 6 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, we will get that at what 9 Eastern time, I believe. Yeah,
Nintendo, dude, fucking
weird
why?
time.
So we're gonna basically watch that and then record an episode.
Yeah, I think it does fall that way, doesn't it? Is that a Thursday?
We're gonna
No,
have to.
it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. Yeah, we'll probably record early that week if I had to guess. That's going to be big enough news that we're going to need to get on that. But yeah, so there is more news coming. They showed it off, kind of showed some of the changes. It's bigger screen, less bevel. The Joy Cons are attached by magnets. And there's a goofy ass connector in the middle of it, which I'm very curious to see how it works. I know a lot of people are like, they tested this. I'm like, yeah, they did. They also don't have young kids. I don't know. Like, I have my concerns not from pulling the Joy-Cons off. I have my concerns from if you have the Joy-Cons off and something were to, regardless. Um, we'll see how all that goes. I'm sure they thoroughly tested it, and it does look good. I mean, it is a nice looking system. It'll be interesting to see what other changes there are behind the scenes here. I really would love to hear that they put Hall effect joysticks in these fucking things
Or
instead of
stick drift
using,
would be nice.
yeah, like instead of using these stupid fucking ancient technology that had, like essentially their original joystick design where it had a graphite fucking pad in there that I don't know if you know anything about. Yeah, right.
Do what
I
these
don't know if
guys
you know
did.
anything about graphite, but it's brittle and it fucking spreads everywhere and is a problem. But anywho, some of the other news that came in the last week or so. So the Switch just hit 150.86 million units sold.
That's crazy.
Insane. It is the highest selling Nintendo console. I do believe PlayStation 2 is still it's like
Like
over
the
200 million, yeah. Um so that's insane. I'm looking that up now because I can't remember. Yeah, PlayStation 2 I knew was the leader. Let's see. PlayStation 2 sold 160 million.
okay.
Nintendo DS sold 154 million, and then the Nintendo Switch has sold 150 million.
How the
So
fuck
it's
these guys got a stranglehold, bro? Well, you know what? With Nintendo though, it's always cost effective for
yes,
anybody because it's a family console.
especially for kids, right? Yeah, it's if you want to play family games, like the Switch is the best console for it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Um, listen, man. Before there's other news we're about to talk about with the Switch, but I'm excited for the Switch too. Watching my wife struggle to play any of the games she fucking loves on her Switch. Like, I don't even think she bought Tears of the Kingdom because of or she did, but she was like, "This runs like dog shit."
Yeah.
So like, Metro Prime
Uh,
4, please.
Yeah, right. From what we know, there is going to be some form of backwards compatibility. I don't know if that's only digital games or if you're actually going to have the same slot to put the same games in, and then they'll just run better on Switch 2.
Curious, yeah.
We don't know all of that yet. But yeah, listen, Nintendo is an interesting company. I do enjoy a lot of their games. I really do. Um, but man, it has been brutal. I just don't play my Switch anymore. I just can't. I have my Steam Deck. I can't play all of the games on there, don't get me wrong, but man, it's rough. You figure it was a console generation essentially behind when it came out,
Yep.
and it's now another generation
Oh,
behind.
it
So
held on as long as it could.
yeah, I mean it was essentially like playing on a 360, and it came out in 2017.
And
And so we were nearing the end of the lifespan of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 at that point. I mean, we're what, 2/3 of the way through it.
yeah,
And yeah, now we're on the Series X and PlayStation 5, and it's just it's kind of crazy. It truly is. But that being said, and the reason why this makes so much fucking money, so the Switch also, Nintendo announced that the Switch has 72 first-party games that sold over 1 million copies,
fucking crazy.
and many of those are like 20 to 50 million copies, mind you. Um, that is 17 more games than the closest competitor that have sold over 1 million first-party games.
They just do it, bro.
It's crazy. Granted, Nintendo probably puts out more first party games than anyone else by a long shot too, but still, that's insane numbers.
It is.
Insane. And then there was one last little bit of info that came out in the past week. So the Switch, Nintendo is on record saying that the Switch will be supported if there is demand, even after the Switch 2
There
comes
will
out.
be.
Which, and we've seen that before, right? There's always some carryover here. I think this will probably be longer to some extent, which I just hope doesn't hurt games. That's the conversation we have every time that there's a new console generation coming out. Like there's a balance that you have to find there of supporting the Switch, but hey, the next Zelda game, like Zelda 3, Breath of the Wild 3, whatever it is, right? Maybe don't.
No, no,
like
no. There's no
like
reason for that or uh, Metroid Prime be put on the
Met-
Switch.
Metroid Prime is still supposed to be a Switch 1 game.
I would, if I were them, I would tank that shit. Well,
Yeah. It, listen.
listen, dude, just
uh
get the game out. We'll talk later.
there was two games. There was Metroid Prime 4 and one other game. I meant to put it in our notes here, but I did not. That are still supposed to be Switch 1 games.
Be
So
surprised it wasn't like the next Mario Galaxy
no, it
Odyssey.
was a known game. It was a game that was already announced.
Oh, okay.
I just can't for the life of me think of what it was right now for some reason. But yeah, man, it's
We'll see April. See in April what's gonna happen.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited, right? I think there's some cool shit there. I'm excited to essentially get, a Switch that has some more power. And some of the speculation right now is that the Switch is going to essentially be the most powerful handheld that we have seen so far.
I've
Or
heard
handheld, right?
PS4 Pro. People are
Yeah.
thinking. Uh,
I've heard in that vein but a lot of people assume that it is essentially going to come in, be the most powerful of that type, which is going to be, I mean, a little bit better than a Steam Deck, essentially. And then Steam Deck 2 is going to come out, and everybody else is going to put out, their handhelds that just blow it out of the water
how
again.
fucked
But
is that gonna be? If I don't, Valve likes working with Nintendo though. And
they
Nintendo
do.
likes working
Yeah.
with Valve. So like, oh my god, if
It,
If Gaben was
it's
like,
not
just press the
really
button.
like it's a similar market, but not necessarily the
Yeah,
same
they're
market,
different audience.
right?
There's pretty different audience.
Oh, for sure. Like, and there's some overlap. Like, I mean, I love playing things on my Steam Deck, and I prefer to play most things portable there. But at the same time, like, I'm a sucker for Zelda games. Like,
If I could play
listen,
Zelda on the fucking like
yeah, I don't
actual
think
Nintendo,
that's. Yeah. As long as you can actually play it on the Steam Deck, I or the Switch too. I thought you were gonna say play it on the Steam Deck. I'm like, no,
I'm not
that's
saying
not
that. No,
gonna happen.
I don't got time for the plumbers. I don't got time for the plumbers to come kick the shit
There
out of me.
was ways, and I think there is ways, but
Shut up.
hey, man,
We're not blowing the spot. We're not gonna blow the spot.
that
Uh,
spot's been blown, dog.
shh, la resistance lives on.
Uh-huh.
Um, price point. I'm gonna say 400.
Um, I bet 350.
350.
I think so.
Eh, we're not that far off each other though.
Nintendo has been, if I believe, or if I'm remembering correctly here,
How much
I
was
believe
OLED?
Nintendo. I think it bumped up to 350.
Really?
I think.
It was 350?
I don't fucking remember, man.
I thought I spent 400 on
Um,
Perry's OLED.
you might have.
You're like, you
If it was
sucker.
400, it's 350 now.
Okay.
But I can't remember if it received a price drop or not. I don't think so because I don't think they've dropped a price on any of their consoles. I think maybe it did. Maybe it was 400 and the original Switch was 300 and they dropped it down to 250 and 350. I
Okay.
could see 400, right? Because it is that double console type of situation. And I mean, fuck, you got PlayStation and Xbox that are selling for $500 a piece. So, um, yeah. I can see 400. I think 350 would be a good spot for them
I do too.
but at the same time, it's a Nintendo console. It's going to sell gangbusters no matter what
You're
price
not
they
going to
put
get
on
one.
it, to an extent.
You're
To
not
an
going to be able to
extent.
get one. It's going to
They
be so I know they're saying production's going to be ready.
Yeah.
I understand that.
That is, yeah, they said they're combating scalpers by overproducing, which
No,
yeah.
do you want to know how people this is a cool story. Have you seen what people are actually doing to scalpers right now?
uh
Oh fuck, there was a got what something just came out. Huge. Whatever. People are basically taking the item that is being scalped, putting it on
Mhm.
eBay, and in the description in bold letters saying, "If you're human, please read."
Hmm.
And like, so if the item was $500 at, like, say it was a PS5 Pro, if that's like a 600, whatever it was, they
Yeah.
double triple it because people's scalper bots are just meant to fucking search, scan, and grab.
Hmm.
They're just buying the shit. Here's
Yeah.
the thing: what the what the scalper baiting people are doing is, yeah, cool. You just spent, in the description says you will not get this item. It is a photo of the item. So eBay can't fucking punish the person sending a photo of the item to the
Right.
scalper bot location, like whoever's bot it is. So people, these scalpers are getting fucking railed, and I love you all for that.
That's awesome. Except for there's also a lot of dumb people that don't read.
And that is not my problem.
You're right. You're right. Uh, the other game that is supposed to still come out on Switch One was the Legends, the Pokemon Legends ZA game.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what
Ah,
it was. Both of those are still supposed to come out on Switch One. I
very
found
good.
it finally.
Very cool. I'm excited
Yeah,
for Switch.
I do hope that, the scalper thing isn't as much of an issue. I remember I bought my first Switch just because there was one at my local Walmart. Like I went there for something else and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go look for the hell of it and just bought a Switch. Had no intention of buying it. Like literally it was like, well, I bought a Switch, I bought snipper clips and Mario Kart, and here we are.
Jesus, I've done that though.
Yeah.
Went to a Meyer with Perry once, and I was like, "Hey, look, an Xbox," and she was like, "We don't have an Xbox." I went, "Yeah, I know." And I pouted, and she went, "Let's get this Xbox." And I went, I was really excited. Walked out
Yeah.
that bitch with an Xbox.
Hell
Cool.
yeah.
That's a lot of news. There's more news we could talk about. There's a whole lot. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 made its money back in 1 day, so that's 1 million copies sold. Battlefield Labs was announced. That's something I feel deserves a bit more of our time once we learn a bit more about it.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot that's known right now. Essentially, it's a big alpha, beta, pre-alpha test type thing for Battlefield. Initially, they're gonna have like 1,000 invites to this thing, so it's probably gonna be streamers and such.
The queues
And
to get
then
in were ridiculous, by the way.
oh, it was crazy. Like, I think both times I tried, there was over 250,000
Evan
people
waited
trying to
five
get into
hours.
this thing. Yeah. I waited twice and then backed out of it, and then later I tried to join back in again and got in instantly. I don't know. Their queue system was real fucked.
Whatever.
Um yeah, Evan was told like he was going to be waiting an hour. It's honestly the same system that Secret Labs uses for Magic, which is really really bad. But this is cool. I do hope that this actually, gives us a good Battlefield game in the long run. But I'm sure we will be revisiting this as we find out more about what it is. There's not a ton of information at this time.
Right.
And the last little bit of news that we don't even really have to talk about. I just wanted to bring it up because
Yeah.
it's just so fucked up. Multiverses, the game that was released once and then pulled and then released again, is now going down again. And it stole a bunch of money from people who made purchases. They are not refunding any purchases. There were people that paid like $100 for some version of the game and are not getting their money back.
My God.
Um, Surely they cannot fucking release this game again, right? Like
It just needs to
I
go.
this whole company's fucked. Like nobody is ever going to buy anything this company does again.
No one's gonna give them anything to work on.
Also that. Yeah. Released this game twice. Pulled it twice
Twice.
and just stole money. Like this is up there in one of the granted this game probably in the grand scheme of things didn't make stupid money just because it is what it is. Um, but this is up there as one of the more sleazy fucking game company bullshit things we've seen for sure.
Oh my God. This is this isn't Days Gone level, but if they release again, it's getting there.
Oh, not Days Gone. That was the PlayStation one. What was that? Days.
Oh fuck.
Oh
Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Days Gone's director is a dickhead.
yeah.
Um.
He's a dickhead.
Oh my
Um,
God.
yeah. It was like Days After or something like that. I
The
can't
day,
remember, but
the day before.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Something
It was
like that. The
some
Last of Us
variation of
clone.
that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So that sucks. Fuck that company
What am I gonna do?
with a cactus.
Dude. Oh man. But it's just they're weeding themselves out. Customers aren't
Yeah.
that stupid anymore. And they're kind of like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna flame you hard online until it goes viral. And then it goes viral and then they die. So good. Yes, that is the news. Next week, we have an interview for you guys. Not gonna say with who
Yeah.
yet, just in case they back out. And if they back out, for whatever reason, I don't think they will. We'll
I don't
interview.
think so.
We'll interview one of our spawn camp dudes, whatever.
We'll
Just
figure it
throw somebody on the spot, tell them they're gonna be on an episode, and just make it about them.
out.
We should do that one day.
Full like interrogation style. Just have a light shining in their face. Like,
I could. I could
where
do.
are you?
I could do that.
Where is she?
You're not trapped. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. I am exhausted. Brody's exhausted. It's time for us to wrap the show up.
This might be the shortest episode since I've been back.
51 minutes, baby. Let's cut shorter because there's a lot to edit. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning into another WASD and Beyond. 201. Did it. We haven't broken up yet. Very good. Still time for
We're
Brody to
here.
get mad at me.
Yeah, you'll be receiving letters. Don't worry.
Fuck. While Brody and I argue behind the scenes, go check out our sponsors, Final Boss and Doc Longy. Both have drops right now. Quasimodo, Doc Longy, Duke Nukem, Final Boss, Duke Nukem Mini. If in one order, a Final Boss drop. So get in on your shit. Join the spawn camp. It's free. It's fun. Come talk to me, Brody, Noah, Connor, Logan, Evan, and everybody else in the server. Have a great time. And until next week, guys, take it easy. Safe.
Bye.